Stop scrolling, because Excel just got an update that changes everything. Forget writing formulas, forget Googling syntax. You can literally talk to your data with the new COPILOT function. Type plain English into a cell, and Excel does the work. Categorize hundreds of transactions, clean messy addresses, explain scary formulas, even analyze financial statements without you lifting a finger. Sounds impossible, right? I've got 5 jaw-dropping ways to use the new COPILOT function inside Excel that will blow your mind. The COPILOT function lets you pass a prompt, point at your data, and get back the answer instantly. And once you see how it works, you'll never go back to doing things the old way. Now, it's currently available on the beta channel for Microsoft 365 users with a COPILOT license. Got a messy list of expenses? Normally you could waste hours categorizing them. But with the new COPILOT function, simply tell it to analyze the Australian credit card descriptions and come up with a short list of categories I can use to group the expenses. Close parentheses, and in seconds COPILOT scans the list and proposes the categories to suit my data. And notice I didn't even tell it which cells the expenses are in. The COPILOT function is aware of the data around it, so it infers that I'm referring to the descriptions in column B. And to help it out, I told it the transactions are Australian, so it has some context of the business names it'll find in those descriptions. And now I can have it apply those categories to the transactions. This time I'm going to tell it where those descriptions are and the categories that I want to use, which are in these cells here, and it's a spilled array, so it puts in the hash for the spilled array operator. Press enter, and just like that my transactions are categorized. And with a quick scan of them, it looks like it's got them all right. Imagine scaling this to thousands of rows. But wait until you see how COPILOT cleans messy addresses just as easily. Data cleaning used to be a nightmare. Watch COPILOT extract zip codes from chaos. Here I have a list of inconsistently formatted addresses, and I want to extract the zip code from column B. So these are the cells containing my addresses, close parentheses, job done. And in the next step, I'm going to have COPILOT fix the formatting so these addresses are actually useful. I'll tell it the cells the addresses are in, close parentheses, done. It feels like magic, right? But what if you stumble on a monster formula you don't understand? COPILOT can explain it in plain English. Now, most of us have seen a formula that makes our brain melt, like this one. With COPILOT, simply ask it to explain in plain English what this formula is doing. And to pass it the formula, I'll use the formula text function, refer to the cell containing the formula, close formula text, close COPILOT, press enter, and now we have no more formula guesswork, just clear explanations in plain English. If COPILOT can explain formulas, imagine what happens when we ask it to analyze an entire profit and loss statement. Instead of manually scanning rows of figures, let COPILOT highlight what matters. I'm going to ask it to analyze the profit and loss statement and give me a summary of notable points. I'll reference the entire table, close parentheses, and let's see how it goes. So you can see it's given me a spilled array, it's analyzed revenue, cost of goods sold, gross profit, expenses, and net profit. But it's a bit hard to read and the text is quite long. So let's edit the formula, and I'm going to use the text join function to join the 5 points together, and I'm going to use the character function to insert a carriage return. Now, character 10 is a line break or carriage return. Let's insert 2 of them between each paragraph. So that's going to be my delimiter, 2 carriage returns, comma, going to ignore empty cells, that's fine, we don't have any, but let's go with true anyway, and then the text is returned by COPILOT. So let's just go and close parentheses on the text join function. And now we have one string of text. I'm going to actually link this to a shape. I'm going to insert this rectangle here. I'll move it down a little bit, and then I'm going to reference the cell containing my COPILOT formula. It's now in my shape. Let's change the text to white so it's easier to read. I can resize the text box a little bit. Let's move this out of the way, and then we can move our text box up beside the profit and loss statement. It's like having a financial analyst built right into Excel. If you're excited about what AI can do in Excel, just imagine combining it with advanced Excel skills. That's what my Excel expert course is all about. Mastering the formulas, automation, and pro techniques that set you apart. The link's in the video description and pinned comment if you're ready to take your skills to the next level. Okay, here's where it gets crazy. You can even ask it to generate data it doesn't already have in your sheet. Let's ask Copilot to list the English Premier League teams for the 25-26 season and rank them based on their likelihood of taking out the Premiership. Close parentheses. Let's see how it goes. Controversial, it's got Man City first. Liverpool fans won't be impressed. Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, and so on. It's also got some teams in this list that are no longer in the Premier League, including Leicester City and Sheffield United, and it's missing Sunderland and Leeds, which is why you need to validate information Copilot returns. Like any AI, prompts matter, so be clear, structure your data in a tabular layout, and iterate until you get what you want. Remember, Copilot is best for interpretation, classification, and insights, not precision math. The Copilot function isn't the future, it's here now. Type what you want, point at your data, and let Excel do the heavy lifting. And if you're impressed by what Copilot can do with prompts, wait until you see how AI can scrape data from the web and drop it straight into Excel with just a few clicks in this video. I'll see you there.